أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. In today's video, we're going to be looking at two reasons which show that the Quran could not have copied from the Bible. The first one is, I want to give you an example. When I see the word Pharaoh, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? It's probably something that looks like this, or something that looks like this. Now, 3,500 years ago, that's probably not what people thought of when you said Pharaoh. That's because the term Pharaoh only began to be used for Egyptian kings around 3,500 years ago, or around 1500 BC, and that's before Jesus. The first example I want to give is of the story of Joseph. Now, in the story of Joseph, according to the Old Testament, the ruler of Egypt of the time is referred to as the Pharaoh. Now, the story of Joseph actually takes place before this 1500 BC, before the coinage of the term Pharaoh for the Egyptian king. But according to the Old Testament, the king of the time is referred to as the Pharaoh. But now we know this is a historical inaccuracy because the term Pharaoh was not even used for kings until that time. If the Quran copied from the Bible, then it would have inevitably copied errors, and this would be a big claim because the Quran uses the term Pharaoh in the story of Moses, but not using it for the story of Joseph would be a big claim because it could eventually be discovered as a historical inaccuracy, because this discovery, when the term Pharaoh was coined, is a very recent archaeological discovery. But the Quran does not use the term Pharaoh for the story of Joseph. It actually uses the word king, Melik, as opposed to the story of Moses in the Quran where the Pharaoh is referred to as Pharaoh. Now, this shows that the Quran could not have copied from the Bible because it's correcting places where the Bible made a mistake. But at that time, where the Quran was revealed, there was no means for the Quran to be able to correct the Bible because the information was simply not there. Only now we know that the Quran was actually historically correct. It was correcting the historical inaccuracies of the Old Testament. Now, another example, and the final example I want to share out of many which we can go into, but I just want to keep this video short, is in the story of Abraham. Now, in the story of Abraham, according to the Bible, it says that his people simply worshipped other gods. Now, in the Quran, it takes it a step further and it mentions three specific gods that they worshipped: the Shams, the Qamar, and the Kawkab, which is the sun, the moon, and a celestial object, or roughly translated as a star. Now, recent archaeological discovery, very recent archaeological discoveries actually show that the people of ancient Babylon at the time of Abraham worshipped three specific gods. Those three were the sun, the moon, and a star. Now, these three gods were worshipped separately from all other gods, and they were worshipped throughout Babylon, as these relics show. Now, how was the Quran supposed to know this historical data that remained completely buried under the ground? Literally buried, because these artifacts were found in the Ziggurat of Ur, which was completely buried underground for many years, and only recently was it actually dug up. So the Prophet Muhammad had no access to the Ziggurat of Ur, let alone translating the runes, which again remained untranslated until very recently. So where did the Quran get this information from if it didn't get it from the Bible? Because the Bible simply does not make mention of this. The Quran gets this information from its divine origin, which is from God. Now, we believe again that the Quran and the Bible share the ultimate same origin, which is from God. But the reason the Bible contains these inaccuracies, which I have shown, for example, in the story of Abraham and in the story of Joseph, is because it has man-made changes, and it has been changed throughout the course of history by humans. And when humans write, there will inevitably be mistakes that come with it. But for the Quran, God says, and He takes it upon Himself to preserve the Quran and to protect it from human changes.
إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون.
So that's why the version of all these stories we have in the Quran are untampered with, and since they're directly from God and unchanged, we know that they cannot have any errors. And as time is telling now, and as we are discovering new scientific and archaeological finds, we find that this is in fact the case, and the Quran contains no errors. So we can safely assume and conclude that the Quran is as it says, from God Almighty. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.